Teaching 106. Love each other. 1. Disciples, here is your master. I come to lift the veil of many mysteries before you. Ask what will be given to you. But don't ask me for more than you should know. 2. In the past eras, I did not reveal to you the mysteries that I am making known to you in this third era, because your spirit was not qualified to understand or conceive beyond what his spiritual development allowed them. But my word is the same, immutable, eternal. Your spirit is the one that has been born, the one that grows and evolves to perfection. The divine spirit has no beginning and will not have an end, immutable. 3. Your spirit is part of a people whom I have taken as a means or instrument to deliver my great lessons to humanity. There have been 3 revelations that I have made to this people. The first lesson was the law of justice of the first era, in the beginning of this people. The second was the law of love revealed in the second era, when it had barely penetrated in spiritual adolescence. The third lesson is this that I am giving you in the present age, to which I have called the third era. In it I reveal to you the spiritual law in fullness, a law that contains everything that was shown to you in the past times and everything that your spirit should know and possess. Spiritually you have reached youth. 4. If you are constantly evolving, why should I always bring you the same lesson? That is the reason why my wisdom reveals to you in every age deeper mysteries. 5. Faced with the materialism and evil that prevail at this time, you doubt that you have the spiritual capacity to understand, feel, and live minute teachings. And I tell you that behind the materialism of humanity, behind its misery, its vices and ambitions, there is a spirit that has gone through great days and struggles, and only waits for the moment to shed its false garment, to rise full of strength on the path of justice and love that corresponds to the Spirit. 6. Human science is the materialized expression of spiritual capacity that man has reached in this time. The work of men in this age is not only a product of the mind, but of its spiritual evolution. 7. The Master, who has found his disciples in spiritual youth, already prepared to understand the new lesson, he comes to gather in a single book the 3 divine revelations as a testament of love for men. That's the reason why they will call you Trinitarian, because you carry in your spirit the seed of these 3 lessons. However, not everyone knows. Not even all those who listen to me will rise up in this time to follow me, because not all have awakened, nor have they known to take advantage of the trials that you have had in your life. There are the lethargic for spiritual lessons, the stationed ones, they confuse, but each one has marked the moment when he must wake up and hear the voice of his conscience. Those who know they shuddered at this time when they heard my word. They were those who eagerly awaited my new manifestation, those who remembered my promise to return. As the lost walker waits in the middle of the night for the dawn to appear to find the way and continue the journey. 8. My voice, which I materialize in this way today, will cease to be heard, and then I will contemplate in your works the fruit of my sowing. I will leave in each one of you an ear and a fruit, so that when you feel hungry or needy to ask you, have bread, and do not say that the Father abandoned you and left you without inheritance. I want that in those times, when you feel the need for my divine pleasures, know how to turn to your spirit and search in it, that there you will find stored many riches that my charity deposited in it. You will also find my seed in abundance, waiting for you to prepare the land, so that you will sow it. I have taught you to cultivate those lands and to watch over the sowing. Tomorrow, your spirit will reap the fruit of its works, as a harvest worthy of being offered to the Father and of being kept in my bonds. 9. There will be an instant when my word given at this time apparently is erased from the beam of the earth. Then men will rise up inventing spiritualist doctrines, teaching new laws and precepts. They will say teachers, apostles, prophets, and envoys, and I, for a time, will let them speak and sow. I will let them cultivate their seed, so that as you gather the fruit, know what it was that you sowed. Time and the elements will pass over your crops, and your step will be as a judgment for each of those beings. 10. It is necessary that the world know about the imposture, so that it recognizes the truth. Then, the truth and the essence that in this time I gave you will reappear among humanity in all its purity and spirituality. 11. See the men who lead the peoples, creating doctrines and imposing them on men. Each one proclaims the superiority of his doctrine. But I ask you all, what has been the fruit of all this? The wars with their train of miseries, of suffering, destruction, and death. That has been the harvest that here on earth of the apostles of such theories. See that I have not violated the free will of humanity. Although I can tell you about that freedom, consciousness is incessantly speaking to the heart of the one who departs from justice, charity, or reason. 12. Also in human life I will make men understand what the fruits of their sowing have been. Leaving it late or sooner, the results of his works appear as his judges. After that trial, they will all come looking for me, and then they will discover that my word is adapted to men of all ages and civilizations, because the word divine, my doctrine, does not belong to ascertained time, because it is eternal. 13. My teaching imparts strength to the spirit to triumph in all trials. The number of these is noted in the destination of each being. Why back down from them? Why cower the mountain that rises before your eyes? Do you not know that after overcoming these obstacles, you will reach the goal you are looking for? 14. How much weakness I still see in your flesh, weakness that many times makes you blaspheme. If the elements that are, show no mercy, you blaspheme. If some pain afflicts your body, you despair. If work overwhelms you, you lose patience. Even heat and cold make you angry, and the darkness of night makes you afraid. How can you not faint? If you allow yourselves to be guided by the dictates of the flesh, which engenders low passions, when will you be my good disciples who testify with your works of love the truth of my doctrine? 15. Being a disciple of Christ does not mean that you depart from the material, that is, that by not only departing from the bad and the superfluous, you turn away from your material duties and enjoyments. I do not want you to seek only the spirit or slaves of the spiritual while you are still in the flesh. The good disciple of Christ is the one who knows how to give to God what is God's and to Caesar what is Caesar's. 16. A great struggle awaits my people, because in their journey they will have to find great evolution in spirit and in the mind of humanity. This is why I want you to also evolve at this stage of my communication, so that nobody is going to surprise you. Trust absolutely my word, knowing that there is more wisdom in it than in the understanding of the wise, and knowledge not found in all books on earth. 17. Sow tirelessly love and peace. In this way you will prepare your spiritual path. And when death surprise your body and the spirit has traveled much of the way, full of joy it will contemplate until where he was elevated by the merits of his works of love towards his brothers. 18. People, see how as you deepen my teaching, you leave behind habits and customs, penetrating in a new, cleaner, more spiritual life. It is a new world that arises from the bottom of your heart. 19. How many mysteries my word has come to dispel, and how many erroneous interpretations I have come to rectify. So you I will send to go the ways of the world, clarifying my law to your brothers. I tell you, you will go, because nobody is a prophet in his own land. I myself, in that time, had to leave Nazareth where I lived, to be believed where I was looked at as a stranger, where it was not said of me, that man who calls himself the Son of God is the son of Mary and Joseph the carpenter. 20 I tell you this, because among you who have received my spiritual gifts, there are those who have doubted their own parents, their children, or their siblings. Among you are those who, by testifying of my teaching, have been called as witches, sorcerers. Do not forget these words, because some will have to remain in their region, others will have to leave it and even their nation, to take my word to other peoples. 21. This nation, fertilized by pain, gave shelter to my seed, and it germinated. But do not believe that only you have this light. When you take my doctrine to other peoples, you will see how soon it will germinate and spread. In those lands you will be prophets and emissaries, and therefore you will be believed. 22. My light extends from one end of the earth to the other and illuminates the entire universe. The light of the divine spirit is a language that speaks to all beings. You who are human, receive my word through the understanding of man. To those who you call angels, I send you my voice in the form of divine inspiration. And in each world or spiritual dwelling I make myself heard and understood, according to the degree of evolution of its inhabitant. 23. I want to speak to you as I speak to angels, not because you have their purity, but because I want you to enjoy that grace and that you gradually resemble those beings in their elevation. Communication from spirit to spirit will bring all beings and all worlds closer together. But it is necessary that you are prepared to understand each other, and for this, I am giving you a single language, a single light, a single way of communication, that of true love. 24. The age of spiritual communication begins for you. Long is the road that you will have to travel, and it will pass a long time for you to see this gift culminate. But from the first steps and in each of them, you will find an incentive to persevere along the way. 25. Was my communication not pleasant to you through the human spokesperson? Didn't you enjoy the presence of the spirit world through your understanding? Well, those were the precursor steps for spiritual communication that later you will achieve. And in these moments, when you seek my voice in the silence of your prayer, isn't it peace that you feel and that inspiration divine that you receive? 26. You know the times of peace that will come because you have received my inspiration and my revelations. But there are those who, without having listened to me at this time, they dream and desire universal harmony and are certain that it will come. It is their intuition that speaks in them. 27. Even men of science have the presentiment of communication through the gifts of the Spirit, and it is that in their constant scrutiny and penetration into the interior of the human being, they have discovered the existence of that being that, belonging to another world, comes to dwell in man, the Spirit. 28. Today I say to all of you, walk slowly and carefully along this path, so that you do not miss it. Watch and pray during the journey, so that you reach the end and your joy may be great when the Father speaks and the whole universe spiritually listen to him and understand him, and that in the same way you understand each other. 29. I want you to feel my Father's love in your heart. This love descends from my Spirit to yours, but as still you do not reach the true communion of the Spirit, I speak then through these creatures, in a simple and humble word available to all. It is my will to manifest my word to you with great simplicity, so that you may find the essence of it easily and not get lost in the confusing chatter, often useless. 30. Cleanse your mind and your lips, so that when you have to explain my doctrine, the crystalline torrent of my word, without the ostentatious terms that take away its humility and its essence. If you want to explain my spiritual doctrine in scientific or philosophical terms, you will not impress the world and none of your brothers will understand you, nor will you give a true idea of what my teaching is. At that time, when in Jesus I spoke to the world, did not take the language of the sages, of the philosophers, or of the scientists to tell you about the kingdom of heaven. I took the simplest forms from your language, because they are the best way to express spiritual teachings. I used parables, taking things that were familiar to you so that, through them, you would know the meaning of spiritual life. 31. Truly I tell you, Christ had nothing to come to learn from men, because then I would not have been the divine master, but the disciple of man. If someone has said that Jesus was instructed by theologians, theosophists, or sages, he is not telling the truth, because before Christ and in the time in which he dwelt as a man on earth, there was no doctrine that taught him to be born, to live, and to die as he did. But I also tell you that the lessons of heaven are not to be learned by the world only, and what Christ taught, it was the truth that exists in the eternal kingdom of the Spirit. 32. How men insist on complicating what is simple. They would like to find in the divine, the composition and the substances that are proper to material nature. Their astonishment will be great when they verify that the spiritual or divine, without substance and without form, it is the whole, it is the beginning and the end, it is the truth, it is the eternal. 33. Humanity has always been too busy in the greatness of the earth to consider the importance that he has to pray and meditate on what is beyond this life, so that he could discover the essence of himself. The one who prays, he talks to the Father, and if he asks, he receives the answer instantly. The ignorance of men on the spiritual comes from his lack of prayer. 34. People, since you have not been able to abolish the confusion of Babel on this earth, since the races have not known how to unite or love each other, I will reunite my family in the spiritual valley. Those obstinate and hardened sinners will come before me in spirit and receive his judgment. His clarity and repentance will be as great as his sin on earth. 35. Pray for those who are absent from among you and go to the hereafter, because not everyone can find their way. Not everyone knows how to rise, or so all soon reach peace. 36. There are those who in spirit live under the obsession of material life, some who suffer great repentance. Others are callous, buried under the earth along with their bodies, and still others cannot get away from their possessions. Of those who remained in the world, because crime, selfishness, and human ignorance hold them back, and materialism takes hold, depriving them of peace, light, and advancement. 37. Let those who still inhabit this world let go without looking back. Let them leave the goods that they possessed and loved in this life, so that they can elevate their spirit to infinity, where is the true inheritance. 38. Do not hold a grudge or remember the bad deeds of those who left. Do not want to have them as fences before you, constantly imploring your forgiveness. 39. How blind is mankind! 40. Get to know each other and know me, so that you learn to walk on the path of love and do good works. See that I want you to know a lot about me, so that you can be similar to your Father. 41. All of you have to come to me, some first, others later, but all will come. It could not be otherwise if you are all sparks of my divine light, if you are part of myself. Learn from your master to love and forgive, complying with the precept that tells you, love one another. 42. You want me to forgive you at every moment, and you retain or deny forgiveness to your brothers. By what do you want to get lost in the abyss, having so many gifts in your spirit? My word comes at this time to enlighten your mind. You have sought the truth in books and found only recreation for the mind, but no benefit to the spirit, no food or encouragement to sustain you in your weakness or in your fatigue. 43. I do not come to give you my word in a scientific or flowery way so that you can understand it. At the bottom of its simplicity holds great treasures of wisdom and light for men. 44. Since you looked for me so much and your heart was waiting for me, here I am fulfilling my promise to return among you and attending to your desire to listen to me. 45. My divine spirit, as if it were the shadow of your body, follows you everywhere on the roads of the world. I let you know joys and also sorrows. I wanted you to know about the struggle and peace, that you try and you know everything. But there was something that you searched in vain in this world without being able to find it, because that something can only be found in me, my wisdom. That is why when listening to me, your spirit has felt that at last he has found what he was looking for, the truth. 46. Yes, people, I am the beginning and the end of you. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Although I still do not tell you or reveal all of them, the teachings that I still have reserved for your spirit, which you will know when you are far away from this world. I will reveal many new lessons to you now, and I will give you what you are capable of possessing, without exaggerating yourself or stand up before humanity with a display of superiority. You already know that whoever is proud of his works, with his own vanity destroys them. That is why I have taught you to work in silence so that your works bear the fruit of love. 47. Refuse flattery, because it is a weapon that will destroy your noble feelings. It is a sword that can kill that faith that I have ignited in your heart. 48. How can you allow men to destroy the altar that you carry in the depths of your being? 49. I know that great works have been carried out within this people, but know me, although in the world let your names be ignored. 50. Only I know the true merit or value of your works, because not even you will be able to judge them. Sometimes a small work will seem very great, and others will not even realize that its merit came to me. 51. Strengthen yourselves in humility, in dignity, and you will not lose yourself. I have given you the weapons. Fight, and do not lose a single battle. The laurel that will gird your forehead will be a kiss of love from your Father. 52. Do not fall prostrate in lethargy again, since you have been freed from it. Do not imitate the unfaithful virgins who did not know how to wait for the bridegroom with their lighted lamps, because if your previous awakening was bitter, the next one will not have comparison. 52. Do not fall prostrate in lethargy again, since you have been freed from it. Do not imitate the unfaithful virgins who did not know how to wait for the bridegroom with their lighted lamps, because if your previous awakening was bitter, the next one will not have comparison. 53. Take care of your inheritance, and no one will take it from you. No man he has the power to snatch the gifts of the Spirit. 54. People, the moments of my stay among you are short, in which through this word I give you my teaching. But first I want to leave you my doctrine as a treasure, as a testament of truth and love, so that when you feel very small before humanity for your poverty and material humility, the knowledge that you have a testament of infinite spiritual value make you raise your forehead with dignity and serenely open your lips to give my word. This is the only greatness that I want you to have, that of the Spirit. 55. If you knew that many beings that you contemplate wretched, some blind, others lepers, others perishing of hunger, many times in their spirit more light and advancement than some who boast of health, power, and wisdom. In that way look not for gold, nor honors, nor mansions. Seek peace, health, and virtues. 56. In my high judgments it is arranged that you be guides and counselors of the multitudes. Prepare yourselves, so that you make it worthy to bring my seed to the heart of humanity. The stout trees will multiply. From them I will cut the branches that will be carried by my peasants to the regions where my children have longed to hear my word. My lessons are extensive because the crowds ask me to speak to them, to explain to them, to make them forget the pain and misery of the world. And I remain for long moments among them without feeling the passage of time or fatigue. Only in this way will you assimilate my teachings and understand and analyze its meaning. 57. How beautiful it will be when these multitudes, simple and humble, get up on the roads carrying the good news of this time, so full of spirituality and morality. You will remember the father who has become the judge of his son, who you have to forgive and love him. To the mother who has ignored her children by denying them her lap, who has to open his arms and clasp them in his heart, so that they too can love. And the children who rise up against their parents, who have to venerate them, because parents on earth take my place. Without righteousness, how can the Spirit rise? 58. Tomorrow you will have to teach and confirm your words with actions. From now on, moralize your life, rebuild your homes and unify your family. That the father go in search of his son who fled his home and children look for the one who abandoned you. That the wife return to the arms of a partner, and that the husband who had resigned from your duties look for the partner and build a new and better existence. 59. Today, better than ever, you know your responsibility before my justice, O fathers and mothers. Because those beings who you name children by your blood, they are spirits of which you will have to answer me. Approach the multitudes to hear my word. Bring them to the banquet, that I myself will serve them. Truly I tell you, they will come out strong after having eaten the bread of true life and having drunk the wine of my grace. 61. Those who eat this bread will never be hungry again. 59. Today, better than ever, you know your responsibility before my justice, O fathers and mothers. Because those beings who you name children by your blood, they are spirits of which you will have to answer me. 60. I want the union of your hearts to be the garden where those roses and those lilies bloom. Approach the multitudes to hear my word. Bring them to the banquet, that I myself will serve them. Truly I tell you, they will come out strong after having eaten the bread of true life and having drunk the wine of my grace. 61. Those who eat this bread will never be hungry again. My peace be with you.